Today on Judge Faith, was it a Sunday full of praise or parking lot pimping?
I was at church praising the Lord like I do every Sunday. Everybody from church was leaving out. I was waving, hi, bye, see you later, girl. So he hits my car.
You didn't laugh and say, oh yeah, I was looking at the ladies?
She was being very ghetto fabulous at that time. I guess by me being an older gentleman with gray hairs on my chin, she probably thought she can get something done.
Oh, you say she was checking you out?
And later, a puppy unexpectedly crosses over.
If there's ever something wrong with a puppy, I take puppies back. All I get a message, just a plain, she's dead.
She said, well, if I know, you just put her down because you don't want to pay the vet bills. And I was so angry that I'm being accused of that.
I can tell you what the law says, and perhaps that will help give you some clarification.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Desiree Smith says the defendant was parking lot pimping after Sunday church service and smashed into her car. She's suing for the cost of damages. Defendant Donald Young says he accidentally bumped into the car while getting ice cream for his mother, and Desiree is hustling him for money.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Smith versus Young.
Thank you, Juan. Desiree Smith?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Donald Young?
Yes.
For $4,200 for damages to your car and repairs that you have to have as a result of an accident?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we start from the very beginning? When was the accident?
The accident was actually March the 8th. It was a Sunday afternoon. I was at church praising the Lord like I do every Sunday. When I came out of church, I was standing on the sidewalk. Everybody from church was leaving out. I was waving, hi, bye, see you later, girl. And I noticed across the street that this guy was backing up. But typically when somebody's backing up, they look over their right shoulder. He never looked over his shoulder. He looked to the left. He was
You saw this from across the street? You're watching the defendant backing his car?
I watched the whole thing. I'm standing there and I'm like, well, when is this guy gonna stop backing up? He's not even looking over his shoulder. He's just looking to the left, looking at the church, looking at all the girls walking out the stairs, down the stairs, coming out of the church. So he hits my car. There's a big crunch noise. He like, is this your car? I'm like, yeah, you just hit my car. He was like, oh man, I don't know how I just did that. I'm like, you did it because you was too busy looking across the street, looking at all the girls coming out the church. And he like kind of laughed it off and he's like,
why do you assume he was looking at the ladies coming out of church?
I'm not assuming. He even admitted to it. Yeah, he said, oh man, yeah, you know, basically on his, you know, Mac Daddy, on his Mac Daddy hype. So, no, I'm serious. He was, because he was in like a little red Benz. He had his little Mac Daddy going on. So.
What happened, sir? How did this accident happen?
Your Honor, like she said, it was a Sunday afternoon. I had just
had you been in church too?
Yes,
the same
ma'am.
church?
Yes, no. There's a church around the corner.
Okay.
Where I minister at. As she was saying, I was backing up, and I was backing up cautiously. And I don't need to look over my shoulder to back up when I have side view mirrors. Okay. Well, as I was backing up, a friend of mine was approaching my car.
That's not true.
And I kind of glanced out, and then I did tap her car, which she called a hit.
Well, you call it a tap, she calls it a hit, but you backed into her car, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it was parked?
Her car was parked, yes.
So she's in no way at fault for this, right?
None whatsoever.
All right, go ahead.
I asked my friend, I said, did I just bump that car in back of me? Because it was so lightly touched. I thought maybe I ran over a can or something.
That's not true.
And just as I was thinking that, you hit my car, and all some commotion came. Actually, my car, like she said, I was looking at women's. I can say the same as my car is a very attractive car. And so
you say she was checking you out?
More than likely. Because, and so I hear her running, you hit my car, you hit my car. So as I got out the car and I seen all the damage on her car, she showed me her driver's side fender that she claimed that I smashed. And so I'm going, wow.
Did you have previous damage on your car?
No, Your Honor, I didn't have no damage on my car.
None whatsoever?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
This lady didn't see nothing but dollar sign. I was dressed fairly well in the car that I was driving. And I guess by me being an older gentleman with gray hairs on my chin, I thought she can get something done. But I was trying to let her know, I'm not no fool about this. I don't drink. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, just so we can clarify this, were you interested in him when you walked over?
Not at all.
Asking about your car?
Not at all.
Okay, sir.
She should have been. But anyway, I was real humble about the whole situation.
Did you have insurance at that time?
No, I didn't have any insurance on the car.
Okay, so you were driving without insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you know that's against the law, Pastor?
Yes, ma'am.
Coming up, was it damage or dollar signs?
And I offered the money out of my pocket. I even offered, I have a friend that has his own collision auto mechanic shop.
Your Honor, the shop that he is referring to, it's a bunch of crackheads that work at that shop. It's not really no real accredited shop.
And later, a breakdown in communication lands these ladies in court.
When I told her the puppy died, I mean, she said, well, if I know you just put her down because you don't want to pay the vet bills. And I was so angry that I'm being accused of that.
But she stopped talking to me. And then all she says back to me is that the puppy is dead. And I'm trying to say, well, what happened to it? And she starts accusing me that I took her money. And I'm trying to tell her that these puppies mean something to me.
Plaintiff Desiree Smith says Donald is making excuses to get out of paying. She's suing for the cost of damages to her car. Defendant Donald Young says the bump was minor and didn't cause real damage.
Okay, what am I looking at in this photo, ma'am?
You're looking at the gap from the bumper and the hood, the space there.
Okay.
Which the detail shop said that since it's hanging like that and that gap is there, that more than likely when they take that stuff off to repair it, there's gonna be more repairs underneath there that they're gonna have to fix.
You haven't had the car fixed yet?
No, and that's the fender. It's bent from him backing into it.
Okay, that's the dent
and that's the hood being crushed in.
Okay. And so, sir, how are you able to come into court and say that these damages were already there if you hadn't even seen her car?
That damage you see right there, I would have to been backing up pretty hard to cause that type of damage.
So, well, she said that you did. I mean, it's one person's word against another because you agreed to pay for the damages, right? But then she provided you with an estimate and you thought it was too high. So the common argument I hear is, I didn't cause all of that damage. But you have nothing to support that. I know one thing is true. There was an accident and you hit her car in the exact space where she has damage.
Ma'am, in order for me to cause any damage to that extent, I should have had some damage on my car.
Not necessarily.
Okay,
I've seen accidents where people have been rear-ended and there's no damage to one person's car and all the damage is on another person's car. Let me see your car.
That's the back end, that's the rear end of my car.
When were these photos taken?
The same day.
How do I know that?
You don't know that.
You only have one estimate?
Yes, that's why I feel comfortable getting my car fixed.
Well, no, when you come to court, you need to have more than one estimate. The estimate for this car is over $4,000.
I offered her money out of my pocket. And when I told her how much it was, that's not enough. It was over $500 I was just trying to give her. Because she was being very ghetto fabulous at that time.
That's not true, Your Honor. I just left church for praising the Lord.
She was being very ghetto fabulous.
It's not true.
And I offered the money out of my pocket. I even offered, I have a friend that has his own collision auto mechanic shop.
Your Honor, the shop that he is referring to, it's a bunch of crackheads that work at that shop. It's not really no real accredited shop.
How do you know that?
Because it's right around the corner it's right around the corner from my church and his church. So I know exactly what shop he's referring to. And he did offer me a little over $500, but I know that the parts on my car is gonna cost more than that. And due to the fact that it's front end damage, I know that there can be more damage underneath.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. There's a principle under the law called total loss threshold. And that is if the damage to your car exceeds a certain percentage of the fair market value of the car, the party at fault can declare it a total loss and pay the fair market value for the car. And in your case, it is $1,136. And I'm going to assume, sir, that based on the estimate she provided of $4,000, that you would choose to pay the fair market value of the car. And I find there are two issues here. There's liability and there's damages. You are obviously liable for this accident. You have come into court today. You tried to minimize the damages, but you don't have any proof that these damages were already on her car. So I'm ordering you to pay $1,136, the fair market value for the plaintiff's car.
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck.
want to tell him that he needs to stop parking lot pimping, and that, you know, he telling people he a minister at a church, he need to be a real man of God and keep his word when he tells somebody he's gonna do something.
What I learned today was not to drive my car without insurance.
Plaintiff Giselle Lobitanya says she was devastated when her toy poodle, Coco Light, died after 6 days. She's suing for vet bills and other associated costs. Defendant Jessica Hatfield says she doesn't owe anything because the puppy was in Giselle's care when she died. She's countersuing for an overdraft fee and stress.
Giselle Lobitanya?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant, Jessica Hatfield, for $1,500 for the cost of a puppy, vet bills, and other miscellaneous costs?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $270 for a return check, overdraft fees, and stress?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with you. We'll start with you, ma'am. Why don't you tell me what's going on?
Well, sometime second week of February, I was looking for a pup. So I went on eBay and I saw her ad, which is in Clear Lake, 8 hours, about 9 hours away. And so I contacted her. We talked, we text, and she said, you can send me deposit for $100 to reserve the puppy.
Are you a breeder?
I am.
Okay, and what kind of dogs do you breed?
Purebred toy poodles.
How long have you been doing that?
About 6 years.
And how much were you selling this particular dog for?
$550.
Okay, and did you buy the puppy for $550?
Yes.
And you sent that paperwork to her?
Yes.
Because
Yes,
at this
sure.
point,
I
you'd
do have
already
that.
paid a $100 deposit, and you're updating her
I am.
on
I
the
send-
status of the puppy?
Yeah, every week I send videos or photos. When I know that owners are waiting for their puppies, I want them to be a part of that process.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the ladies disagree on the details of Coco's final days.
Overnight, I just slept right there by the kennel, watched my puppy dying.
She didn't tell me anything, and I know that a lot of times vets will offer a mercy killing and to put the puppy down if she was tired of paying vet bills.
Plaintiff Giselle Lobitanya says Jessica assured her the puppy was healthy. She's suing for vet bills and other associated costs. Defendant Jessica Hatfield says the toy poodle got sick while in Giselle's care. She's countersuing for an overdraft fee and stress.
You submitted video to court?
I did.
This is one of the videos that you showed, that you sent to the plaintiff?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of dog is it?
A purebred toy poodle.
And how old is the dog at this point? in the video?
She was probably about 4 to 5 weeks old. She's the most active out of everybody in the litter. They were all sleeping, and Giselle's puppy was always the first one out and running around and trying to wake everybody up and barking at everybody.
Okay. So at some point, you drive the 8-9 hours to her home.
Yeah, on the 21st, the puppies were ready. They had their shots and their dewormers done. She was actually trying to pick the puppy up when it was about 5 weeks old. And I had told her that it was against the law. So.
Okay, and so did she get the puppy before 8 weeks or not?
Only by about a day.
Now, in your state, there's a new law that makes it criminal as a breeder for you to sell a puppy prior to it being 8 weeks old. So why would you take a chance?
That's a good question, Your
It's
Honor.
just because you're in court now
Right.
on a civil case, and you don't want it to turn into a criminal matter for you.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So-
what happens when you pick up the puppy?
So I picked up the puppy.
Did you observe any issues, any medical
No,
issues?
I didn't notice. 2-3 days, she's jolly, wagging her tail. She already recognized me. I thought there's nothing wrong.
You named her at this point,
Coco
right?
Late, yeah.
What is it?
Cuckoo Late.
Coco, okay.
Because she's a chocolate, so I just named her Cuckoo Late. You know,
When
her name
is
right
the
away.
first time you observed that Coco was getting sick?
She doesn't like the dog food that I've
She's
given
not
her.
eating her food. Okay, so what do?
I went to PetSmart, get a milk supplemental, and she's still not eating it. And so I got a syringe, put her in her mouth, she's throwing up. And then I noticed her gums is purple. And that's when I got worried. I took her to the vet.
How many days had you had her then?
On the 6th day, I took her to the vet.
She had had the puppy for a week and 3 days before I had gotten the first text message saying that the puppy was sick. And I had tried to talk to her several times asking, what are you observing that's wrong with the puppy? Does it have a fever? You know, she just said that it was throwing up.
So you said it was 10 days, you say it was 6 days. What happens when you take the puppy to the vet?
The doctor said that her blood pressure is so low, her temperature is so low, and there's something wrong, so they have to run a blood test. The doctor said she's very tiny. You have to give her a drop every 30 to an hour for the medication. Overnight, I did give her a medication and a supplement of food with all the heartache that I've been through is just too much. She will keep the food for like 30 minutes and then throwing it up again. So overnight, I just sleep right there by the kennel and sit by the kennel and watch my puppy dying. Like she's become like skin and bone. I took her to bed 9 a.m. and they did the same thing, recheck everything and still the same thing.
They're not able to diagnose her with anything at that point?
They just say that her body is not responding. By 6 p.m., the puppy died. They called me and the puppy died. Do you want to pick up the body? And I can't even go there.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
When I told her the puppy died, I mean, she's just telling me, like, what you have done. Did you, she ate something, whatever? I said, oh, she's dead. And she said, well, if I know, you just put her down because you don't want to pay the vet bills. And I was so angry that I'm being accused of that.
Is that what you told her?
When she messaged me, I kept trying to ask her, what's wrong with the puppy? And then she didn't respond to me on anything when I tried to find out what was wrong with it. I said, did it eat something? Because puppies are like toddlers. They can eat anything, you know, around the house that can upset their stomachs. She stopped talking to me. And then all she says back to me is that the puppy is dead. And I'm trying to say, well, what happened to it? And she starts accusing me that I took her money and be happy with it. And I'm trying to tell her that these puppies mean something to me. And if there's ever something wrong with a puppy, I will take a puppy back if it's sick. I will pay all the vet bills. She didn't give me the opportunity to even do that.
You write to her, I'm not saying you poisoned her, but I do believe she ingested something that upset her digestive system. You didn't want to pay the vet bill, so you had her put down. Why would you make that assumption?
Because she didn't tell me anything. And I know that a lot of times vets will offer to put the puppy down if she was tired of paying vet bills. There was no communication as far as what was going on with the puppy. All I get a message, just a plain, she's dead. And I'm like, what?
She took the puppy to the vet twice.
Yes,
I have both of the receipts here.
That I've been through.
And she spent hundreds of dollars. And by the way, I looked at the dates from the text messages. It was the 6th day that she went to the vet, the 6th day that she had the dog. You don't have any evidence or any indication that it's because the puppy ate something. You're speculating what could possibly happen.
Does she have evidence of what was wrong with the puppy?
Well, I can tell you what the law says, and perhaps that will help give you some clarification.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
The law, as a breeder in your state, if a dog dies within 15 days of delivery, there's a rebuttable presumption that the dog had some kind of illness at the time of delivery, and all she has to do is to provide vet bills to show that the dog was sick, and she did. I mean, I think you do this as a hobby, but you just need to know what the rules are. What's your counterclaim about?
Her $100 deposit of the check had actually just been taken out of my bank account, which caused me to go overdrawn on some of the bills.
You mean she stopped payment on the check?
Apparently, I didn't know how she could do that many months after.
Out of anger, I'm very angry. If I was able to do more than that, I would do more than that with all the pain that I've been through.
3 months later.
If the circumstances let me, I would take much more than that.
So based on the evidence in this case and the testimony, I'm going to order you to pay her the $550 for the puppy and the $550 for the vet fees. Total judgment, $1,100 for the plaintiff. Your counterclaim is dismissed.
Thank you. Puppies mean something to me too. And it's not my heart to sell puppies that are not healthy. And I wish I had had the opportunity to help in any way that I can. And the fact that she cut me off from being able to help, because that's my baby too. So.
Right now, I don't have planned to get another puppy. I'm still trying to get over what happened, but in the future, I will get the same color puppy, same toy poodle, but not anytime soon.
Today on Judge Faith, did this defendant find a friend or a garage full of trouble?
I met Donna through a dating site.
What dating site was it?
Adult Friend Finder. I had family heirlooms. I was talking to her about putting it in storage. She goes, no, don't waste your money because I have room in my garage.
That was totally false.
You say something else happened that triggered the breakdown of your friendship. What happened?
She got paid to watch my child when I was supposed to go to surgery. She wrote hours that she got paid when she only worked 6 hours.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
Oh, I think you know something about what she's talking about.
And later, this landlord seems to be a high roller.
Why did you keep the $460?
Okay, first of all, I think this whole case is a little bit petty.
$460 may not matter to you, sir, but it matters to some people.
Thank you, Judge. He wasn't even there at the end of the lease walkthrough.
Now you're asking for some of the security deposit back. You've already returned it to him. And now you want some of that back.
I had out-of-pocket expenses that I decided not to charge him for.
That was your choice.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Karen Forrest is suing her former friend to either return the family heirlooms she stored in the defendant's garage or pay $3,000 to cover the loss of the items. She's in court today with witness Kelsey Feldseth. Defendant Donna Carrillo claims she told the plaintiff she would need to pay $25 a month for storing the items in her garage. She's in court today with witness Kathleen Hellickson.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Forrest versus Carrillo.
Thank you, Barbara. Karen Forrest?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Donna Carrillo, for $3,000, the value of property you say she has that belongs to you.
That is correct.
Okay, why don't we start with you, ma'am? How do you know Ms. Carrillo?
I met Donna about 3 years ago through a mutual friend, through a dating site.
What do you mean by that?
Online dating.
What dating site was it?
Adult Friend Finder.
Okay. But you're on there to meet men.
It's actually to meet anybody.
Okay. I guess I'm trying to understand this.
There's couples on there.
I'm just trying to understand. So someone tells you there's another cool woman on the site that you two should meet each other?
Yes. And we became very good friends. We had gone out together. She would meet somebody. I'd go out with her when she meets somebody for a drink, you know, just to protect her and ourselves.
Yeah, because I've been through some stuff, and I really don't trust people or men very much. So
I was her support system.
And what happened from there?
I had to move out of my house in February of 2013.
Why?
I couldn't keep the mortgage paid on anymore, and I was having to rent rooms out, and I just couldn't do it anymore.
So you were downsizing?
So I was downsizing. I had stuff that was through my family heirlooms. I was gonna put it in storage. I was talking to her about putting it in storage. She goes, no, no, no. She goes, don't waste your money, put it in storage. She goes, I have room in my garage, save your money. I said, are you sure? She goes, yeah, I have plenty of room.
What was the agreement as to how long you would keep these things in your garage?
Until I moved somewhere else and had a bigger place.
What do you say the agreement was?
Okay, that was totally false. I have a little tiny garage. So I said, you know, I have a little bit of room. I said, you could store it here. You know, because we're friends. You're supposed to help friends out. I said, when you get a job or whatever, when you get some money, give me 20 here or 20 there.
What did she put in your garage?
She put a hutch. She put the bar stools that were stained and a coffee table that was scratched up.
No, there was nothing wrong.
Hold on a second,
ma'am.
Ma'am, go ahead. A coffee table?
Yeah,
and what else?
miscellaneous stuff.
Where are they now?
Okay, 70%, and I have a witness that knows I gave her back 70% of her stuff.
Okay, did you get some of the stuff back?
She gave me back my Christmas stuff and my personal photos and photo albums.
February 2013, you moved things into her garage.
Correct.
When do you come back to get the stuff?
I don't recall what month and year. Do you recall when that was? I came and got that few things.
It was, I'm gonna say May of 13.
So about 3 months.
But, so she gave me those few items. Or excuse me, let me rephrase that. She texted me and said, her exact words were, I'm putting your out on the front porch. You either come get it, or if somebody steals it, not my problem.
Did you text her that?
I sure did, ma'am.
Okay, why?
Because she did something that is gonna be in a criminal case that I can't dissolve here, but I found out about it, and that's why.
Wait, so is there an open criminal case right now that you have?
No.
So there's no open criminal case involving her?
I'm getting all the evidence together because I was going to present it here.
Does it relate to this case?
Nope.
No.
Something completely separate?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I gave her the stuff back because of the kindness of my heart. Because I believe, no, I
You
did.
know, if you
Half
gave me
of
the
her
stuff, the kindness of my heart, it would have been my grandmother's and the stuff, the family heirlooms. That's the kind, and it's my stuff.
What do you say is missing?
The china hutch, the bar stool, the coffee table, everything that was in the china hutch, the china,
and
the
where do you say that
crystal.
property is?
I have the hutch still, ma'am.
Okay, what about the bar stools and the coffee table?
The letters, if you read them, I got letters through all my neighbors.
I want you to answer the question.
Okay.
Where are the bar stools and the coffee table?
I gave them away.
Okay. Okay.
Seriously?
Yes, it's been 2 years.
Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
It's been 2 years, and I'm getting ready to move, and I can't move her stuff, too.
Coming up, is there more at stake here than storage space?
She got paid like 100 hours.
No,
she
I did
only
not.
worked
What,
6 hours. I needed her there as a friend, and she was not there.
And later, if you sue me, then I'm gonna sue you.
Now you're asking for some of the security deposit back. You've already returned it to him.
Well, I thought that the pettiness wouldn't exist and that I wouldn't be here today.
So you're suing in retaliation because he sued you.
Plaintiff Karen Forrest is suing her former friend for refusing to return her belongings. Defendant Donna Carrillo is upset that the plaintiff took advantage of their friendship.
You say something else happened that triggered the breakdown of your friendship. What happened?
I was shot in 2006 in a home invasion, and I've had over 13 surgeries, and I have an autism baby that's 5 years old. She got paid to watch my child when I was supposed to go to surgery. And my daughter had to leave school. Now my daughter, it's gonna cost her $500 to get back into school when she already got paid to take care of my autistic child.
You never paid me money.
So this was a part of a program?
Yes.
And she got paid
for
through
autism. Yeah. She wrote hours that she got paid when she only worked 6 hours.
No. No.
You what?
I have no idea what she's talking about.
Step up, ma'am. You look like you have something to say.
Because she has told me from her own mouth that, yes, she was getting paid to do the work and that she did sign for hours that were not worked. That was out of her mouth to me.
My daughter, that's 23, had to leave school to take care of me and my son because she didn't come and do her job. And that really hurt me and my children. You know, I needed her there as a friend, and she was not there.
I had to move out of my house. I had a move-out date. Was I supposed to lose all my stuff?
She got paid like 100 hours.
No, I did not.
She only worked 6 hours.
No, I have no idea what she's talking about.
Oh, I think you know something about what she's talking about.
Well, apparently she has a criminal case she has going against me, so I
Well,
figure
not yet, but there might be. Thank you, ma'am. What do you have to say? You step up, please.
Oh, I was there during...
Did you guys decide to do matching hair for court today? Just so...
Pardon?
I'm a hairstylist. I did her hair.
Okay.
I was living with her when we had to leave the house, when we were asked to move out.
So you were asked to move out. You weren't downsizing.
Well, it was...
You were being evicted.
We couldn't afford to keep the house
You were being
anymore.
evicted.
Yes.
Okay.
So we had to leave at a certain date. Unless we wanted to be locked out and lose all of our belongings, we had to get it out as soon as possible.
Thank you. You can have a seat. So there's no question that you put some things into her garage. The question is, did you abandon those items under the law? And if so, does she have the authority to then sell them or give them away? You say the first time you go back to try to get those items out, she doesn't allow you to get most of your things?
Correct.
Did you call the police at that point to try to get your things?
No, I did not.
Okay, what did you do?
We became friends again after that.
And so you continue to leave the things in her garage?
I left them there. And so we started hanging out and everything, and we started talking about me getting my stuff back, and she says, oh yeah, sure, you know, I'm not that type of person, you know, I want to let you have your stuff back. Then that's when I got a text message, which I have right here, that says, you cannot have your back.
May I see the text?
Yes.
What month and date is that text message from?
It'd be June 26, 2014.
Okay, and is this the point you told her what's blacked out here on the text message?
You know, you don't recall.
Okay, so your best evidence is a text message to me with half of the messages blacked out, and I can't even make sense of what this says. You say you're going to file a criminal case against her, and you tried to explain it to me today. Neither one of you are being forthcoming. I cannot help you, ma'am. Your case is dismissed. Judge before the defendant.
Thank you. Thank you.
Plaintiff John Costello is suing his former landlord for $460, the remainder of his security deposit. Defendant David Geske is countersuing in the amount of $1,300 for damages he discovered after the majority of the security deposit was returned.
John Costello.
Yes.
You are suing the defendant David Geske for $460, the return of the remaining of your security deposit?
That's correct.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $1,300 for damages?
That's correct.
We'll start with you, Mr. Costello. Give me some background and tell me how you know Mr. Geske.
Well, back in May of 2011, my girlfriend and I moved into Mr. Geske's house in Huntington Beach. And we liked it because it was a nice, secluded neighborhood, close to the beach. It was a beautiful place. He had a lot of upgrades, real nice. It was a little dirty when we moved in.
Okay, and Mr. Geske, is this a home that you own and just rent out to tenants?
That's correct.
Do the two of you enter into a lease agreement?
Yes, we do.
Do you have a copy of that?
Yes, I do.
How long did he live in your home, sir?
He entered in May of 2011 and exited in April of 2014.
Oh, so you lived there for a while. Okay, you were paying $2,700 a month for rent. So what kind of tenant was he, sir?
Early in the lease, I had received communication from Mr. Costello. I sensed that he was trying to pull me into some of his financial problems, and I had to issue a 3-day notice to pay or quit.
Wait, you said early in the lease?
Within 4 months.
You moved in May 1st, and then in September, you tell him you can't pay the September rent?
I just put it that there's a possibility, and I was starting a negotiation, and without any kind of, oh, well, what's going on? It was notice. And so I'm like, okay, there's no give on this guy, so
right.
We paid him. And
why should there be? It was just business.
That was back in 2011. Were there other issues with the rent? Or did that take care of things?
No, as a matter of fact, I wanted...
So you got the message. Now you see why he sent you a 3-day
that's exactly
notice.
Right. 2x4.
Coming up, the plot thickens.
Did the two of you have some kind of falling out or something?
Well, he tried to hit on my girlfriend once.
What?
Plaintiff John Costello is suing his former landlord for the remaining portion of his security deposit for a luxury townhouse. Defendant David Geske is countersuing for damages he discovered after the plaintiff and his girlfriend moved out.
I'd never had issues since then, and as we renewed the lease, I decided to reward him and return a portion of the security deposit each and every year. So now the security deposit was only $3,000.
You have a $3,000 security deposit when he moves out.
That's correct.
You return $2,540 and you keep $460, which is why you are suing.
That's correct.
Why did you keep the $460?
Okay, first of all, I think this whole case is a little bit petty. Let me just put that out there.
$460 may not matter to you, sir, but it matters to some people.
Thank you, Judge.
We can't all be high rollers like you, Mr. Geske.
Well, you know, there's valid reason for it. There were 3 things that I charged for and that I submitted receipts for. The landscaping in the back of the property. The grass was dead, as you can see in the pictures. I was putting the home back.
But what did the grass look like before he moved in?
Well, it looked way better than that. It was, you know,
Do you have a photo of that?
You just want me to take your word for it? Sir, would you agree that the grass was a lot greener than what it is in the photo he just showed me? Or did it look like that?
I can't remember back then. All I know is that we were not responsible per the lease for...
Oh, yes, you were.
What,
Look at section
show me
11B
where in the
of
lease,
the lease,
actually.
right here. 11A, right here. Tenants shall properly use, operate, and safeguard premises.
Mr. Geske, I can read it.
Okay, go.
Let me just look at the rest of the photos. Okay, what is this?
So the blinds were made inoperable. The string was broken, and so when you pull the string,
You can't use them at all?
Right.
Okay.
Right, correct. So I had to have a company come out.
What happened?
And restring it. It was $135, and that's part of the $460.
I should have noted that at the walkthrough. I'm going to give this one to him. You know, I'm just going to be fair about this because the blinds were too heavy for the strings. I didn't note it in the
He's lived there for 3 years, and you know there's some ordinary wear and tear when someone lives in a home for 3 years, and these are the blinds that they use every day. You don't think that you having to spend $150 to replace the string on the blinds after 3 years is a part of ordinary, normal wear and tear?
It could be, but I was restoring the property to the original condition that I had delivered it to him.
That's fine if you want to do that, but he's only responsible for any damages outside of normal wear and tear.
But
let's go to the next photo.
So this is damage to the wood inside the bedroom. Probably it's buckling from water damage.
What's going on with the windowsill? Now that does look like damage.
It appears.
I have no idea because he brought this up to me last week. He wasn't even there at the end of the lease walkthrough, so what happened?
Sir, did you do a walkthrough?
I was not in attendance during the walkthrough.
Who did the walkthrough?
My leasing agent accepted delivery of the property and the keys, but she's not a property manager.
So who did the walkthrough?
I don't know what they did because I wasn't there. I mean,
exactly
okay, but you're the landlord, though.
Right, I was out of town.
You're counterclaiming for $1,300.
Right.
But you've already returned his entire security deposit except for $460.
Right, so this would be the wood repair. The wood repair was $400 on the windowsill. And then if you look at the paint throughout the property, there were splotches on pretty much every wall.
So that's why you have to do your due diligence before you return someone's security deposit, because now you're asking for some of the security deposit back. You've already returned it to him. And now you want some of that back.
I had out-of-pocket expenses that I decided not to charge him for.
That was your choice.
Right.
I don't know what you want me to do about it.
Right. So, well, I thought that the pettiness wouldn't exist and that I wouldn't be here today. So I decided to just let that go. Fixing the paint splotches.
So you're suing in retaliation because he sued you?
Well,
basically.
I mean, if I'm here, I might as well try to recover some of the out-of-pocket expenses. I had a $2,900 painting and wood repair bill.
And you had a $3,000 security deposit that you gave back, except for the $460 that he's suing for. I mean, this is all on you. When you walk into the home and you assess damages, and then you take the time to write a check and mail someone a check for the remainder. So it looks highly suspect for you to come into court months later and then say, oh, by the way, there's another $2,000 worth of damages, Judge. It just looks like it's a retaliatory claim, sir.
Well, I'm not one to pinch pennies.
I don't know you.
I mean, I just...
Let me ask you something. Did the two of you have some kind of falling out or something?
Well, he tried to hit on my girlfriend once.
What?
The text, you want to go for a beer? We didn't respond. I mean, you know, you're going to go to here, we're going to bring it up. I don't know if that's it, but...
I don't agree with that.
It was a one-time... you know what? Hey, to be fair, it was a one-time thing. We didn't respond, never happened again, but it was weird.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Wow, your walkthrough agent said that, in her opinion, the property was in good condition with no major issues. I'm dismissing your counterclaim.
Okay.
I am ordering you to return $325 of the $460 of the security deposit you kept for the plaintiff. I am allowing you, sir, to keep $135, which is the cost to replace the blinds. Judgment for the plaintiff, the amount of $325.
Thank you,
Judge. Today on Judge Faith, did they fail to pay rent? Or was he a slum landlord?
They said, let's fix up the attic. I thought, now I got to spend more money.
You pay for materials, but they're renting from you. Why are they fixing up the home, too?
Wait a second. They rented the house.
No. Calm down. You don't tell me to wait a second.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay.
I am sorry.
And Judge Faith tells it like it is.
The house has green and black mold in it.
And we confirmed that with a home inspection.
Well, how did you know to get the home inspected? Don't speak again.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Buddy Carr says his former tenants took advantage of his kindness and vacated without giving 30 days notice. He says they still owe 13 months in back rent. Defendants Bradley and Karen Gear say the plaintiff's house needed lots of repairs and had mold. They claim the mold made them sick and they lost work because of it. They are countersuing for a security deposit and home repairs.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, in this case, we have Carr versus Gear and Gear.
Buddy Carr?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendants Brad Gear and Karen Gear?
Yes, Your
For $2,965. You say they owe you for unpaid rent and utility bills?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are countersuing for $4,000 for the return of your security deposit, lost wages, and home repair costs?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll start with you, Mr. Carr. Why don't you give me some background and tell me what's going on here?
Well, 5 years ago, I met the defendants and through an ad, a home that I was renting in Toledo. And they seemed like very, very nice church-going people.
How long had you owned the home?
I had just purchased the home.
Okay, and did you purchase it to fix it up and rent out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And how long did they end up living in the home?
5 years.
Okay. Why don't you tell me about why you decided to rent from the plaintiff and what you thought about the property?
Well, at first, in July, we started looking around. We had both of us lost our jobs, and we needed to find another place.
We were looking for a nice home, a nice neighborhood for our family.
So how were you planning on paying rent? Because that's that's a big part of this lawsuit is that you failed to pay rent.
I work for the automotive industry, and I was temporarily laid off. I was supposed to be getting called back within a month or two. I was on unemployment and what they call sub pay. We did make an arrangement to fix the upstairs. He paid for the material. We ended up doing all the labor.
Okay, you paid for materials, but they're renting from you. Why are they fixing up the home, too?
Wait a second. They rented the house.
No. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Calm down. You don't tell me to wait a second.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay.
I am sorry.
You can answer the question now.
Yes. I am saying that what happened is they rented the home, seeing the home that it was an unfinished attic. I says, it's $750 a month with it unfinished, but he says, let's fix up the attic. I thought, now I got to spend more money. They says, wait, you pay for the materials, we'll do the labor. And I thought, okay. I don't raise the rent, it's still $750. It stayed $750 for the whole 5 years that they were there.
Okay, so tell me about what happened after they moved in.
Maybe the first couple of years, the rent was being paid pretty much on time. But then it seemed that by the end of 2011, they started getting more behind. It was either because of sickness, it was because of their job, it was for a lot of different reasons, Your Honor. And so I like these people. We got along very well, except that they weren't doing the math to see that that they were behind.
So why'd you let them live there for 3 more years if they were having a problem paying the rent?
Because I'm a nice guy. I felt compassion for the fact that they wanted to stay there. I felt compassion, too, the fact that he was, not keeping up. And so we did finally come to an agreement where they would pay $250 a week when he was back on his feet.
My husband was out of work, didn't go back to work until March. We explained everything to him and told him that, we're going to get behind because everything's getting behind. And in addition to that, the house that he's talking about, we found out had mold issues. The house has green and black mold in it. And we confirmed that with a
home
inspection.
Well, how did you know to get the home inspected?
That's not true. I'm not
Hold on a
hearing any
second.
of...
Stop interrupting me.
I don't hear that.
I said, don't speak again.
Coming up, they didn't pay, but should they be allowed to stay?
just the fact of, having to deal with some of the issues that we have.
Oh, is that what the $350 inconvenience fee is for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
To live in a house that had so many problems, we have gone to him, like I said, multiple times and said, buddy, this is happening.
Plaintiff Buddy Carr is suing his former tenants for unpaid rent and utility bills. He says they took advantage of his kindness and vacated without giving proper notice. Defendants Bradley and Karen Gear say the plaintiff's house needed lots of repairs and had mold. They claim the mold made them sick and they lost work because of it.
How did you know that there was mold in the home?
We were getting sick a lot, and my doctor had wrote an order for us to have the house inspected for black mold. We started looking around, and we have a couple leaks in the house, one in the bathroom and one underneath the kitchen sink. We told the landlord about it.
When was this? When you first suspected the mold?
Your Honor,
May I see
2011.
Yeah, we have an inspection report. About a year and a half to 2 years ago, we told him that we saw some black mold underneath the basement. He sent one of his relatives over, and they sprayed
something
the ceiling.
on it.
Okay,
to
they
take
said
care
that
of it.
should do it. Well, it kept spreading a little bit, so I called him again. He sent that same person over. They cut a 14 by 18 hole underneath the bathroom sink to check to see if there was a water leak there causing it. That hole in there was still there when we left.
When did you move out?
August of this year.
Okay.
When our dog got sick and our dog almost died, that's when we said that was the last straw. We're moving out. We're done.
Okay. May I see the photos, please, that you submitted?
Okay, that's the outside of the home there. Like I said, it is a cute little home. That is water damage above the front door that has been going on for a couple years that we told him about originally.
He kept making promises that he'll fix it, he'll get it taken care of.
That's the mold. That's the mold underneath the bathroom. And that's a picture of our dog when he was so sick this past year.
He had a pain patch. That's that
How do you
little
know that
white
he was
thing.
sick from mold?
We asked the vet.
We talked with the vet. They had run multiple tests, kept him overnight a couple times. He was improving there, but when we brought him back home, he got sick again. And they could not find anything. They said it had to be environmental. Something in where he's living is causing him to get sick.
And you submitted medical records for your dog, and I did have a chance to look at those. Okay, sir. Did they ever tell you, make a complaint to you, that they thought there was mold in the home?
I don't remember that at all.
Yes,
no.
we did.
Not once?
Not once. I never got anything in writing. I do not remember anything.
We didn't put it in writing, Your Honor.
Stop.
If they had...
Okay.
You never saw this inspection report?
No. Never saw that inspection report. Never.
Did you make any complaints in writing that you have here in court with you today?
Not in writing.
We didn't put them in writing.
Calls.
It was by phone calls.
What's your counterclaim about?
In his amount that he's claiming against us, he didn't take into consideration the $750 deposit. He didn't take into consideration the 2 refrigerators that we left there that the tenants are using because we asked.
Listen, if you left refrigerators there, that's on you. He didn't agree that you would leave the refrigerators there in exchange for some kind of payment, right?
Right.
You did that on your own?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
The labor that we did upstairs, we put in a lot of time.
And again, you agreed to do it.
Right.
You agreed that he would supply materials, you would do the labor because you wanted to utilize a third room.
True.
Go ahead.
5 days of myself lost wages between all the court appearances I've had to go through and lose wages for, including today and yesterday. That's $1,200 in itself. Just the fact of, having to deal with some of the issues that we have.
Oh, is that what the $350 inconvenience fee is for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you thought about the fact that perhaps you inconvenienced him all the months that you didn't pay rent as well?
We did pay, I mean, we paid something. There wasn't any months where we did not pay anything, like he's making it sound.
How much was your monthly rent?
$750.
$750. So you think you get credit for paying $200, $300 sometimes when your monthly rent was $750?
No, we didn't ask for credit. We told him this is what we can do. We will get you the rest as soon as we can.
Oh, that was so thoughtful of you to tell him in advance this is what you can do.
Your Honor. I mean,
I can't produce money if I'm off work because I'm sick and not getting a 100% paycheck. I can only make it stretch so far.
Yeah, but you lived there for 5 years, sir.
Yes.
And he didn't evict you. That's the thing.
Well, he tried too many times.
Next on Judge Faith, were they really sick or taking advantage?
And we found out we had all that mold issue. What am I supposed to do? I can't go to work if I'm vomiting in the bathroom at first thing in the morning.
And Judge Faith sees through the smoke screen.
But this went on for 3 or 4 years. When you say you're going to pay rent on a certain date, you have to pay.
Plaintiff Buddy Carr is suing his former tenants for unpaid rent and utility bills. He says they took advantage of his kindness and vacated without giving proper notice. Defendants Bradley and Karen Gear say the plaintiff's house needed lots of repairs and had mold. They claim the mold made them sick and they lost work because of it.
5 years you lived there, and from what I can see, you started having issues in year 2 paying rent. And you have this attitude of, listen, I told him this is what we can pay, this is when we can pay it. That's not the right attitude you have if you don't have the money to pay rent.
No, we told him about that. When we were getting sick and we found out we had all that mold issue, what am I supposed to do? I can't go to work if I'm vomiting in the bathroom at first thing in the morning.
So you think you were physically ill from the mold in the home?
I'm sure yes, Your Honor. We both do. I have asthma and I have allergies, and that mold had put me sick several times where my doctor was questioning.
Do you have doctor statements about that?
I don't have them with me.
Not true. I never heard anything about their sickness because of mold.
I couldn't get them. Our doctor had retired, so I couldn't get them from our doctor.
That's kind of convenient.
Now, he did recommend a doctor that took over his patients, and they took all the records. We tried to get those records from them, and they're the ones who told us, it's in storage, we have no idea where your records are in storage.
But you agree that you did not pay $2,100. That's what they owed in rent. Do you have proof that you paid that?
Oh, more than that, actually, Your Honor.
Sir, that's what you're suing for.
I know,
so,
but they actually did short me $3,872 over the 60 months.
Sir, you are suing for $2,100 in unpaid rent. Do you have proof that you paid $2,100 in unpaid rent?
I have what he gave us.
This is a record. If you were to add all that, it comes to $3,000.
So we were paying,
and what month did you move out of the home?
August
okay.
16th.
This is copy.
And what did you say about their check, sir?
I have this check that wasn't part of your evidence. Is the check that I got bounced, and I didn't even know they were moving out. I didn't know that they weren't making the payments anymore until I got that in the mail from the bank, and I called them up and I says, what's going on here? I got a bounced check. You're supposed to be paying $250 a week. They says, we're moving out. I called them on, I believe it was the 25th of August, and 2 days or 3 days later, then I get a written notice saying, we'll be out by the end of the month. But they weren't. They still stayed September 1st and September 2nd.
No, we did not.
Hold on a second. So when do you say they moved out?
They said that they'd be out by the end of August. Brad called, says, I'm not going to be able to be out today.
What do you say happened? Did you give him notice? Did you give him 30 days notice that you were moving?
No, Your Honor, because there was no real lease agreement at that time. It was month to month. The last lease agreement we had
that
signed...
means you give 30 days notice. If you don't have a signed written lease,
okay,
that means by default it's a month-to-month occupancy in the home, and you have to give 30 days notice.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
You gave notice in the middle of August that you would be moving by the end?
Yeah, we moved out August 16th. But we had stuff that was still in the house.
No, Your Honor.
Oh my God! We were physically
August 16th.
No, he does not know what we did.
I'm sorry, this is crazy.
Mr. Carr, calm down.
We physically, ourselves, were not sleeping and staying in that house after August 16th. We had stuff in the house that we were getting out.
We moved to the garage.
Out of the garage, and we were putting it in storage.
You were still in the house. Even if you weren't sleeping there, your stuff is still there.
That.
You were still occupying the home. No, I don't think you do.
Yeah,
because you're trying to make a distinction to me that you weren't physically sleeping in the house when all of your stuff is still there, sir.
Your Honor, they took the electricity out of their name on August 16th while they were still moving out beyond the 16th. So I got the electric bill in my name along with a water bill that was not paid.
Mr. Carr, do you have proof of the utility bills you say the defendants still owe for?
Yes, Your Honor.
May I see those, please, Barbara? And you received these bills. Did you change the electric bill out of your name on August 16th?
What?
Yes, we did. We got a final reading.
You were still living in the home. You understand? You're still using the electricity.
We understand that.
No, stop. The effort you made to pay rent was a pathetic one. Okay, I have months where you only paid $150, you only paid $250, you only paid $500.
Right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And in those months, we told Mr. Carr
Stop.
that we were going to be
I've heard all of the excuses. I've heard them all. Everyone has peaks and valleys in their careers, in their jobs. They deal with health issues. But this went on for 3-4 years. You allowed it to, but it went on for 3 or 4 years. When you say you're going to pay rent on a certain date, you have to pay.
Understood.
You owe for the utility bills. You can't change the bills out of your name and still utilize the utilities and still live in the home.
Thank you.
Here's what we're going to do on rent. You have to pay September because you did not give 30 days notice and you remained in the home. Even if you remained there 1 or 2 days in September, you're responsible for the full amount of rent in your state for that month. And you didn't give 30 days notice. So pick either one of those reasons and you owe for September.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you.
So that's $750, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
$750 for September rent, $250 for the bounce check, $475 in unpaid utilities, $390 in late fees.
Why the late fees, Your Honor?
Are you serious?
He never told us.
Are you serious?
No, we understand, Your Honor.
He never told us that he was going to apply late fees.
Stop. Please. Oh my God.
This is new.
Are you kidding me? You lived in this man's house without paying him full rent for over a year. This man did not evict you. He let you live in his home for 5 years.
Correct.
And it is clear to me now you are taking advantage of the situation.
No, ma'am.
Absolutely.
We are not, Your Honor. No, we are not.
No.
Your counterclaim is dismissed for a number of reasons that I explained earlier. In addition, when it comes to mold, if you want to make the argument that the home was uninhabitable because of the mold, I need proof. I need your medical records to show that the mold was making you sick. Not all mold is toxic. There's a certain level of mold in everyone's home due to humidity.
Right.
So you have to come in and prove to me the home was uninhabitable because of the mold, and you haven't done that. I almost feel bad about this verdict because I'm bound by what you sued for, what you asked for, and I think you're owed a lot more, frankly. But perhaps you learned your lesson as a landlord. You say you're nice, you're kind, you did
Your
all
Honor,
these things for these people. Stop.
I'm
for
going to do
5
it again.
years.
I'm going to do it again.
Well, then, sir, you're going to be in the same position again.
Know.
Yeah, and you know, so you've got to make a decision what kind of landlord you want to be. You understand? But you can't let someone live in your home for 5 years and not pay rent for 5 years and think you're going to come into court and recover after all of these time. These people don't care. They don't care about the fact that they stiffed you all those months for rent.
Yes, we do.
You absolutely do not.
Yes, we do.
Judgment
Yes, we
for the
do.
plaintiff, $1,865.
Thank you, Your Honor.